Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Hello, Alison.
Hi.
We're doing a thing.
Are we?
You know what this thing is?
Is it a roller coaster?
It's a show. And this show comes out of a desire to have a celebrity reach out to us. You're a bad color man. So
Oh my god.
So the whole idea here is that
We get mammoths.
we're
come on the
gonna do a show where we would like to get Jennifer Love Hewitt to call us. I would very much like to talk to Jennifer Love Hewitt on this show.
I think that's more of a me thing than a you thing.
No, I definitely want to talk to her. So you're a big Ghost Whisperer fan.
Yes.
Right? This is where this came from. You're a big fan of the show Ghost Whisperer, which, if I am to believe what IMDb tells me, ran from 2005 to 2010.
Yep.
Did you watch it when it was on to begin with, or have you just watched it later?
Later. Because let's see.
2005, how old were you?
2001, I was 3. So 4 years later.
So you're 7. So you're 7 years old. Probably shouldn't be watching Ghost Whisperer at 7.
No,
right?
Probably not.
Is there a lot of murder in this show? Does anything blow up?
There's cars falling from the sky. There's cities
Ooh.
under cities. There's
Cities under cities. Don't spoil it for me.
So yeah.
So here's the deal. You are a huge fan of Ghost Whisperer. You've seen this. How many times do you think you've watched the series all the way through?
Probably 4, 5 times.
4 or 5 times. Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Jennifer Love Hewitt. I think she's great. But I never watched Ghost Whisperer when it was on. And I'm much older than you, like a century older.
Yes.
And so
It must be nice being 5,000 years old, but you know.
yeah, don't be crazy. It's only hundreds. But anyway, I have made a decision that I am going to watch every episode of Ghost Whisperer, and we're going to recount it here until Jennifer Love Hewitt calls us. Because she's from this area. I think she's a big star. She's done a lot of cool stuff. It would be a real honor to be able to talk to her, right? Just ask her some questions. She does a lot of Instagram stuff.
She does.
Like I'm always getting a cool like she just put a bunch of pumpkins on a thing the other day. I saw that picture. Like she's a real family person, and she seems like she's really easy to reach out to, right? I mean, like she seems like somebody who would talk to her fans, somebody who might do this thing. You know, there's a lot of celebrities out there that are unreachable. I mean, I don't know, like Will Smith. Especially after the slap. But like he's not going to call us, you know? I don't know. His personality is not the same. Like her personality, it just seems like she likes her fans and enjoys interacting with them. So what I'm asking is Jennifer Love Hewitt, please be on our show. That's the whole show. This is the whole show. It's you and I talking about Ghost Whisperer.
Wow.
It's you and I talking about Ghost Whisperer episode by episode until Jennifer Love Hewitt calls. What if she doesn't call? What do we do then?
Well, we move on to stuff that she's produced.
Okay.
Movies.
And other movies she's been in.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm good with that. We're just going to go until we either die or she calls. And I'm assuming you're going to die first. I mean, you're the older one here. So.
How am I the older? What happened? I'm a century older than you.
Things change. So let's talk about Ghost Whisperer. I have only seen episode 1. Episode 1. What is the title of episode 1, Alison?
It is literally just called The Pilot.
The Pilot. So if you don't know about Ghost Whisperer and you're listening to this show, number one, hello. I don't know why you're listening, but thank you. So Ghost Whisperer is a young woman, and as I'm from IMDb, a ghost woman. Ghost Whisperer is a young woman caught between the dead and the living, helps the dead resolve unfinished business with the living. That's very succinct, right? Mm-hmm. So here's what I understand about the premise. Okay. Her grandma could see dead people and interact with them. Mm-hmm. She took her to a funeral. Then all of a sudden she springs on this poor girl and says, you're going to talk to dead people too. Bye. And then she just leaves her there. Is that how that works?
In a sense, yes, but no.
So the first episode, well, I mean, so she's been able to see these dead people since she was young. And obviously it's like a familial thing, right? It's passed down through the family. Yes. Now, don't tell me what happens later because I don't want to know. I want to figure it out. Okay?
You're gonna hate me for this, but it's okay.
Okay, great. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be great. So anyway, she has seen these ghosts since she was a kid. And now she helps resolve problems with them so they can cross over. Do I have that? Is that close? Yep. Okay. So let's move to the first one. This is episode 1, Pilot. Stars Jennifer Love Hewitt, David Conrad, Cameron Manheim, who was in The Practice, Christoph Sanders, Jamie Kennedy's on it at some point, and Jay Moore. Huh. There's a lot of people in this. Aisha Tyler from All the Things, especially like Archer. She's been on a ton of stuff. She hosts Whose Line Is It Anyway now in syndication.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's.
I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, that's the thing. Like when I was watching this first episode, I was like, oh, wait, I know. Oh, wait, I know. It was like I knew all the people that were in it, you know? So that surprised me very much so.
I mean, I guess when you live 5,000 years, of course you're going to recognize some people.
So, season 1, episode 1, the spirit of a soldier disturbs Melinda at her wedding. So, Melinda is Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yes.
Right? The guy she's marrying, is his name Jim? That Jim?
Jim Clancy. That's, played by David Conrad.
Okay. Cool. What else has he been in? He's been in a bunch of stuff, right? Wedding Crashers.
Yes. I haven't seen a whole lot of his stuff. That's the only thing?
No, I'm just kidding. Castle, Law and Order, The Firm. Oh, The Firm. The Good Wife. He's been in a lot of stuff. So, good for him. It's got Aisha Tyler as Andrea, her friend.
Andrea.
Is it Andrea?
Andrea.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah. Of course you weren't.
And then the ghost is Wentworth Miller, who I was very familiar with from Prison Break. He's very good in that. It's a very good show. It was on Fox. This was on CBS.
Yep.
This was directed and written by John Gray. He is the creator and the director and the writer, especially of this first episode. He did Grimm also, which Grimm, I'm told, was a very good series. I think my wife watched that. He's done a bunch of stuff, but I think he's best known for this. Anyway, creator, written by, directed by. He did all that. So do you want to tell me, because you got to do something in the show. You want to?
I have to do something.
You want to tell me?
I have to do something.
You want to tell me how this plays out, like what the plot is, all that stuff? You want to tell me what happens?
Sure. Yeah. Well, of course we. I don't know how you want me to start this, but sure.
Start at the beginning. Like, how does the show start?
Well, it just really starts with her at the funeral.
Right. She's very small.
Yeah.
She's like, what do you think? Like 8, 9 years old? Something
8
like
or
that?
9.
Mhm.
Yeah. And with
There's no way she could be 10.
people that
Yeah, she's 8 or 9.
8 or 9.
All right.
And this is when like her grandma's
taking her to the funeral. She's holding her by the hand, right? She's leading her down the aisle of the funeral. That just sounds weird when you say it. The aisle of the funeral to the coffin.
Yes.
This poor kid. She's dragging her up to the coffin.
Yeah, and she's just really explaining how all this works and trying to help this dead man.
She says to her, we're going to help this lady, right? And shows her the widow.
Yeah, so at first she said, sit here, we're going to help this man.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, she sees the guy off in the...
She sees the guy
because he's sitting in the audience,
in the crowd,
right?
Yeah.
He's sitting in the audience. He's paid his ticket. He's there for his funeral. Yeah.
So he's sitting out in the crowd.
Yeah.
She just sit here.
And we just think he's a regular guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at this point, they go up to the coffin, and this is where they start talking.
They get their cappuccino.
No. They get a cappuccino. That is no.
Yeah. So they go up to the coffin.
And they start talking to him.
Do a little dance.
No.
What do they do?
And they're talking to the guy about like whatever message.
Talking to the dead guy.
Yes, talking to the dead guy.
He says something like, well, she's like, how will she know? So the grandmother wants her to give the widow a message from the dead guy.
Yes.
And she goes, well, how will she know it's me? It's him talking.
Yeah.
You know, whenever I say it. Because, I mean, any kid just comes up and goes, your dead husband said, you know, buy me a Hot Wheel or whatever. You know, that wouldn't be a thing. So the dead guy whispers something in her ear, which is the best place to whisper something, and says like, have your champagne at midnight, right?
So yeah,
drink a full bottle,
goes over and
pass
says,
out.
Tell her I want her to keep having a glass of champagne every Friday night.
Every Friday night.
I also want her to light the fire like we always did and make our secret toast to the
chunk
moon.
the bottle.
No, don't chunk.
Skull.
No.
All right.
Make the toast to the moon and the stars.
The moon and the stars.
And tell her never feel alone.
Okay.
And then she'll know.
That's right. And she tells her, and she's very touched.
She starts crying.
She starts crying, yes.
Like a little baby.
Like a little, like less than 8 or 9 year old baby. So anyway, that's how we're introduced to Jennifer Love Hewitt's character, Melinda, having her powers.
Yes.
Then we star wipe real big we don't, it's like a fade, but still we go to Melinda's wedding.
Yes.
Right? She's getting married to Jeff. What's his name?
Jim.
Bill?
Jim Clancy.
She's getting married to Jim Clancy, and there's trouble a brewing because the wedding's beautiful, everything's great, they're dancing, but then she sees weird dead guy in the window.
Yes, very creepy.
Yeah,
dude.
Very creepy dead guy in the window, and this is Wentworth Miller. We just don't know it yet, but he draws a thing on the window, right? Like on the fog of the window, like if you're just taking a shower or something. So the dead guy takes a shower outside and fogs up the window.
I don't think that's how that works.
He draws a thing on the window, and it's like a north, south, east, west thing, right?
Yeah, it's like a compass.
Yeah.
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 Draws the whole thing on the window and ta-da.
Okay. Yeah. And then what?
Well, her Jim at this point questions.
Jim, that's her husband.
Jim, yes, her husband
Okay.
questions her.
Sure.
And she pretends like it was nothing. Whatever. Blows
He
it
goes,
off.
not again. Wah, wah.
Yeah. Whatever. Blows it off. They
Yeah.
continue their thing. And
Dance.
Then, yeah.
Spin around, slow circles,
Dance and
kissy
then
kiss, huggy hug. Right, they're at a wedding.
they just go about wedding things.
Right.
And then Melinda steps out and goes out on a pier
Yeah.
and talks to.
She goes out on the
A guy.
pier and talks to the dude,
Yes.
Wentworth Miller, who is the soldier.
No, this is
Oh, no, this is the other guy.
the guy.
This is creepy dude.
This is the guy that's in the tux.
That's
in a
right.
tuxedo.
That's right. Okay.
She goes out and talks to him.
Okay.
And
what's his deal?
So I don't really want to give too much away, but
why?
Okay, well,
you can give all of it away.
Okay, fine, whatever.
This show came on in 2005. This is 17 years ago. If you haven't, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this by now, guess what? We're about to screw it up for you.
You haven't
Dude
watched
goes
it.
out on the pier. But I'm just saying, we're just talking about episode 1.
Well,
right?
Fast forward, we find out at the end of the episode, or at some point, that this is Jim's brother.
Oh, that's right.
So
Jim's brother, who was killed in a bank robbery.
Yes. So he passed away.
Was he in a bank robbery?
I think it was a car crash.
I don't think that was the thing. Oh, that's right. It was a car crash. You're right.
He did pass away, and we find out that that's Jim's brother.
Yeah.
So she's talking to him, and basically Jim's brother's just trying to give her a message for when the time's right to tell Jim when Jim's ready to give up on
I did watch this episode. I really did. I don't, my 5,000-year-old brain doesn't comprehend things it doesn't keep things very well.
Yeah.
But I do remember everything you're saying. Like,
do you?
Well, I mean, yeah, now I do. Because you said it.
Sure it's
but
not
yeah.
fish?
Yeah. I do remember it, though. So they go down on the pier, and she's talking to the dead dude, but we don't know he's a dead dude.
At the time, we don't know that he's dead, but we do find out that he's his brother.
You know what freaked me out is when, because again, I'm going to this blind, so I don't know what happens on this show, right? When her husband is up on the ladder trying to fix the stuff on the house, I was like, oh, he's going to fall and he's going to be dead this whole show. That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought, oh, I see how this is going. And I think they were trying to fake you out there.
I hate the stupidity that's in this show.
What do you mean?
Because, they don't think their shots out. What person in the middle of a thunderstorm,
goes out and does it?
Is going to go out on a ladder and try to fix whatever that needs to be fixed. That's just not logical.
Well, and then we find out later that, he's fallen off things, right?
Yes.
Isn't he, accident prone or whatever?
Kind of, yes.
What's his name? Jim?
Jim, yes.
Jim, you keep falling over things.
But that's the thing.
Stop getting on ladders.
He's a paramedic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do remember that. I was like, this dude's a paramedic, but he's afraid of ladders or whatever it was. He was like, I hate blood. Oh, gotta go to work.
That's one thing that his brother mentioned is he's the only paramedic that hates blood.
Oh,
he does say that.
He does say he hates blood.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
I would get a different job. One that didn't have blood. I mean, there's a lot of jobs where you don't ever see blood.
Like this one?
This one, maybe a little. I do cut myself a lot, but not on purpose. It's like walking to buzzsaws and things.
No.
But yeah. I do remember that. Okay, so we see him waking up after the big thunderstorm, right? And has she talked to Dead Soldier Man yet?
Not really. So immediately after the wedding, she is talking to Andrea on the phone. She's driving into work.
This is Aisha Tyler.
Yes.
Tyler Soldier Man. Whatever. Taylor Soldier Boy.
This is her, the other.
Yeah, it's her best friend.
Yeah, it's her best friend. So she
works at the coffee shop with her.
The antique shop.
Antique shop, exactly. Same thing.
No.
They serve coffee at the antique shop.
No,
they serve antique coffee.
No, so Melinda owns an antique shop.
Okay.
And the city is Grandview.
Grandview, Texas?
No.
Oh.
But it's Grandview. It's a tiny little town. And she owns an antique shop. So she's on the phone saying, hey, I'm on my way. Probably going to be late.
Okay.
Andrea is just like, okay, cool, whatever. It's just there.
Yeah. You're always late. You ghost seeing freak.
No.
She didn't? Oh, okay. She knows about her powers, though, right? Like, it seems like everybody in her life knows that she does this thing.
Yes. So, Jim.
Do you think they ever ask her to, like, do it on contact? Like, or not on contact, but, like, on demand? Like, we're having a party. Everybody's a couple drinks in. They're like, hey, see a ghost.
No.
Hey, see a ghost right now. Go see a ghost.
Throughout this whole show, they don't ever do that.
It's not like a party trick that they pull out every once in a while?
I say that, but it's never like at an event like that.
Oh, okay.
But she just says like, hey, this afternoon Jim's got a surprise for me, whatever. And Andrea's kind of making fun of her, like really the only place you can think of to stay away
is work.
Work.
Yeah. Well, I understand that.
So yeah. And then
I have a lot of dogs, so I have to get away from my place a lot. It's like 13, 14 at this point.
Gross.
I just have to get away from there. So I come to work. I get one of those hair rollers, and I get all the hair off of me first thing in the morning. And then I think about Ghost Whisperer. I don't know.
You don't.
All right, so Jim says what?
So
Jim says what?
No. So then at this point, Melinda's there.
Yeah.
And Andrea has picked up a new hobby, which is learning a new language. And Melinda turns around and starts making fun of her because it was guitar.
Oh, she's always learning new languages.
She's one of those always on a new hobby kind of thing.
We had one of those here. We had one of those people here.
We did.
Yep. All right. So, you're learning a language, you weirdo.
Yeah. And yeah, so they're kind of just going through that.
Sure.
And then they start talking about what the surprise is for, and then they go
says, I hope it's a pastrami sandwich.
No.
Oh.
Definitely not.
Okay. So they're talking about the big surprise that Jim's going to give her in the thunderstorm.
Yep. So they're talking all of that, and then this is when she starts to talk to Jim.
Yeah.
And he's carrying her like newlyweds.
Oh, that's right. Like across the threshold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she says, you're only supposed to do this for the doorway, not the whole street. Oh, and then he kind of makes fun of her. It's like, oh, yeah, now you tell me.
Because they're walking down like the street that they live on.
Yes,
and
to their house.
It's like real fall looking, right? Like there's leaves and kids driving large vehicles and stuff like that.
Sure.
Things that kids do.
Sure. Totally.
Okay. All right. So he's carrying her down the street. She says, hey, quit it.
And and then this is where she sees the first side of the house. So this is actually before the storm.
Yeah.
So she sees the house, and he's like, oh, if you close one eye, you'll see the good half. And then she pretends to close an eye. She's like, oh, man, wrong eye.
Right.
Haha, funny. But
sure. That is funny.
It's whatever.
Well, she's only got the one eye throughout the show, right?
No, she has both.
Oh, she has both.
She has two eyes.
Okay.
In fact, she's actually got three.
Well, I guess so if she's seeing ghosts, huh?
If she's seeing ghosts, she actually has three.
All right, so we're outside this rundown house, and then what? What happens after we get to the broken house?
So Jim's been trying to fix up this house that they bought. Just, it's one of those investment houses, whatever.
Yeah, like they're going to buy it and fix it up and then flip it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're there doing that, and she then wakes up from having a really bad dream.
What was the dream? I don't remember.
It was of like the valley. Like she wakes up in a forest.
Okay.
And this is where she's like hearing the gunshots, the helicopter.
Oh, that's right. She's seeing what the soldier did. Yeah,
the last memory that the soldier had.
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
She's seeing what the soldier did. Yep. Gotcha.
So, and then she wakes up. Jim's like, oh, bad one. She's like, nope, we're good. It's just normal, whatever.
Right.
So then they talk about having that dream and Jim being worried about Melinda from what's going on because he realizes it's the same ghost.
He's obviously been through this before with her. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the same ghost that he realizes the same ghost from their wedding.
Yeah.
He puts two and two together.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Because he asked about it at their wedding and then realizes it's that. And then they're talking about that, making sure, Jim's like, oh, yeah, you good? You sure? Whatever.
Yeah. He makes her a pastrami sandwich.
No. What's up with you and a pastrami?
I don't know. It's so stupid. Pastrami's the funniest meat. It is. It's the funniest meat.
Okay.
All right.
So then Melinda goes down, get a cup of water.
Right.
As she's walking out, she sees the ghost coming up her stairs.
Oh.
And that freaks her out.
It would freak me out, too.
It freaks her out to see somebody.
Here's the one thing that caught me weird in this show. Well, there's a lot of things, but there's one thing is she's always freaked out when she sees a ghost. At some point, doesn't that subside? Don't you get used to seeing dead people?
You would think, yes, because I'm assuming in the show.
I mean, your whole life can't be, it can't just be that all the time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that she says she's seen ghosts since a child.
Yeah, well, we see that she's seen ghosts since a child.
And then most people generically get married in their 20s. So I'm assuming at this point she has to be in her 20s.
She's probably
mid to late 20s.
Mid to late 20s, maybe even 30.
Yeah. I would
she's thought about changing careers. She's eating a lot of Activia.
I mean, I would assume that's...
Sure.
I would just assume it's been 20 years. Like, you've known for a fact
that's
for
true.
20 years that you can see ghosts.
Yeah.
Why are you still scared?
Again, like I say, it caught me weird, but I guess they're still freaking ghosts, though,
I can tell you that part does not change.
Okay. Through the whole series?
Through the whole thing.
Like, you don't get to the last episode and she goes, oh, hey. Like, no. I mean.
Through the whole series, it is like this.
Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. I mean, this is what it is.
And that's probably one of the things that bothers me the most. Because they very much make her out to be kind of like a scaredy cat.
Uh-huh.
When
they make her out to be a scaredy cat?
Yeah, when it comes to ghosts. And it's like, dude.
Yeah, at some point she's got to be like a not scaredy cat.
Yeah.
Right.
Or at least make it seem like she might be scared, but
sure,
it's there.
Well, I mean, let me ask you this, and don't give anything away, but like in the future shows, are any of the ghosts like super menacing? Like, do they come after her?
Some.
Like, is it like a haunted house kind of thing?
Some, and throughout the show, are a little bit hostile.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I would assume.
Yeah.
If you're going to run through, I don't know how many episodes this is, but if you're going to run through
117 episodes.
Yeah, if you're going to run through 117 ghosts, I mean, good God. Some of them got to be jerks, right?
Yes.
Some of them got to be pissed about being dead.
Oh, you're going to have so much fun with this.
Okay. All right. So she sees the ghost for the first time. She goes, hey, you're a ghost.
No. So she sees him, and then he's basically asking for help.
I'm sorry. She goes, hey, you're a ghost.
No.
Because she's a whisperer.
That's not how.
She's a ghost whisperer. Ghost.
Oh my God.
Oh, dear God, there's a ghost.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so she sees a ghost, and what happens?
He asks for help.
Help! I'm a ghost.
he's saying, help me.
Yeah.
And it's now the next day.
Yeah.
And this is when...
That's what happens when you see a ghost. Like, time flies. No. I don't know if you realize that, but every time you see a ghost, you're just like, oh, crap, I've been standing here for like 3 hours. I got to go.
No.
It takes
Do you understand the concept of making a TV show? That's not how that works.
Oh, okay. So she sees a ghost. He says, help. Then the sun goes down and she wakes up.
It's presumed that she goes to sleep.
Right.
And then...
I'm going to pretend like she never sleeps.
This
is all insomnia. That's what this is, the whole show.
So the next scene is in the antique shop.
Yeah.
she's telling Andrea of what happened.
Andrea.
Yes, she's telling Andrea of what happened, what's going on. Mm-hmm. And
says, I saw a ghost. He said, help.
She basically is like, oh, I saw a ghost in my house. Andrea's questioning it. Is like, oh, has that ever happened before?
Oh, wait, so she doesn't know already.
So she knows that she has a gift, but she doesn't know that she has seen a ghost yet.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so this is when Melinda is telling her, like,
it would be weird, though, like if your friend told you this, right? Because you'd have to be like, okay, all right. And then you'd, like, check their forehead, you know,
oh my God.
See if they got the shakes.
And at this point, this is where she's going into a little bit more detail. Andrea's asking if she's told Jim.
Right.
And she said, not really, kind of don't want to spoil the moment, whatever.
Yeah, because she's like a newlywed. She doesn't want to screw up her. Yeah, I get it.
And so Andrea's like, cool. And then
cool, see ya.
She is like,
here's a cappuccino and a pastrami sandwich.
Oh my God. So she goes, great, good call. What's the difference between a ghost come into your home and the one that's on the street?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, as if there's a difference.
Well, I guess there's no real difference, right? I
No.
mean, a ghost is a ghost is a ghost is a ghost.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're a ghost, you're a ghost.
It's true. There has never been anything said that's more true.
No,
if you're a ghost, you're a ghost.
And Melinda kind of explains, no, they're all earthbound. Earthbound spirits really have a message.
Okay, I remember this part. Yeah, because now she's basically given us the plot of the whole show. Yes. Right? She's explaining to us that these people are trapped and she has to help them by getting them huge discounts at her local grocery store. Now she has to help them like be released. Yes. Right? So they can go to wherever.
Yes.
Like they're basically in kind of a purgatory.
Yeah. So the whole like premise is they're in this purgatory.
Yeah.
Melinda has to help them cross over into the light.
Right.
And they have to tell her what happened or what's the message.
She has to unlock whatever the thing is that's binding them to this earthly plane.
Yes. And so when you were asking when you're asking about, oh, do they ever like ask, oh, look at one. Andrea asks, is there any spirits here now?
Oh, like right. Yeah.
And Melinda just says,
she goes, just this Jack Daniels, and pulls out a bottle and they just drink and drink and drink. Eat pastrami sandwiches.
No.
Yeah, I got you. No.
So she says no. Well, she's like, actually, yes. There's two.
Oh wait, is this that man and that woman?
Yes, this is in the coffee shop.
This is I knew that dude. He's been in a bunch of stuff too. Hang on, go ahead, tell the story.
So they're in the coffee shop. Melinda says there's an older lady sitting next to the guy, assuming it's his mother. And then there's also another one that is basically the grandma or the mom is telling that guy to go talk to this girl that he has been eyeing for a while.
This is Joe Polito is the name of this guy. He's the actor. He died in 2016, but he was in a ton of stuff. Like I remember him always being kind of a almost kind of a mob guy. You know, he was in Miller's Crossing and a bunch of stuff like that. He was always like a bad guy and stuff he was in. And he was like the old coffee shop guy or whatever there, right? Like, wasn't he attached to that place somehow?
So this is the guy that's working behind the counter.
Oh, that's right.
So there's two different ghosts. There's
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
the old man's alive. The old lady's a ghost.
So there's two young guys.
And then the old guy behind the counter is yelling at the kid who's trying to work the cappuccino maker, but the kid doesn't know he's there.
Yes.
Right.
So
it's his father, right? Or his grandfather or something.
Yeah, his dad that's trying to talk to him.
Yeah, he's like, oh, do it right.
Yeah.
Or whatever, yeah.
So.
Shut up, ghost.
No.
Yeah.
So then Andrea is a little freaked out, like, oh, this place is haunted, blah, blah, blah.
If there's a ghost in a place, is it haunted? Is that like the definition of a haunted place? Just having a ghost, or do they have to do something?
I mean, I would say,
good God, we're haunted.
So the way this show explains it is places aren't haunted, people are.
Oh.
This is how this show is basically set up.
Do you see any ghosts around me right now?
No.
Okay.
I see a giant mammoth behind you, and that's it.
Okay. But there's a mammoth on the wall. That's what she's talking about.
But when you look into, like, reality, they say places are haunted.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you get stuff like Baker Hotel, Alamo.
Sure.
Stuff like
that.
So
she's saying, or the show is basically saying that people aren't necessarily haunted, but they're haunted by something that keeps them here, like their unfinished business.
Yes.
They're haunted by their unfinished business. Yes. Okay.
And so they need to tell whoever it is, family, friend,
sure, mailman,
whatever, that what's going on.
Right. They got to unburden before they can.
Yes, before they can cross. Yeah. And
gotta go.
So then that prompts Andrea to ask, well, why is this guy haunting you then?
Right.
What does he have to say? What does he want?
That's a good question. Like, why is he, I guess, just because she's a conduit of some sort? Like,
yeah. So this whole, like, another part
she's God's little telephone system.
In a sense, yes.
Yeah.
Another part of this is spirits are attracted to those that have gifts.
Yeah, they are.
So
I don't know what that means.
So if you have the abilities to see, hear, feel, like to feel their feelings, to see them, hear them, be able to talk to them, they're attracted to your energy.
Well, that makes sense.
It's kind of like magnets.
Yeah. How do they work?
But they feel the same, the opposite pull, so they want to go to you because they realize they can communicate.
Yeah,
and that's why this guy's attached.
That makes total sense. So like a medium or a whatever, like at a seance or something. It's like a portal that they're attracted to or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I get it.
And so
we got the old dude who was in love with the old lady, and then the guy who's yelling at the other guy. Right?
Sort of.
Yeah. Okay.
The old lady is
But neither one of these things really pan out for us. They're like not really part of the plot.
No. Okay. Those are just kind of like throwaway examples of like how her gifts work and whatever.
I get it.
And so that's when Andrea asks, and she's like, well, I think he's just lost. And this is when
so she's talking about the army boy.
Yes.
Like he's just lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so this is where we transition to the thunderstorm, where we think that...
Right, where I think her husband's dying.
Yes.
I really thought he was going to fall off that ladder. He was going to be dead, and the whole show is her whispering to her husband who's dead.
No.
Yeah, it didn't happen. I mean, good on them. They fooled me.
But
I've seen a lot of TV, and I really thought that's what was going to happen.
Like, the stupidity, though, behind this scene is just...
Well, I don't know if it's stupid. I think they're like I just said, I think they're like faking you out.
Yeah.
Basically.
They're trying to like pull you in.
Yeah.
Into one thing.
Yeah.
So
sure.
That's when
it's a red herring.
Yeah.
Get that red herring off that ladder. Right. But anyway, he doesn't fall.
No, doesn't fall.
Doesn't die.
Whatever. And
which works out well for her marriage. Since he's still alive.
Her new marriage.
Yeah. That would suck. It's like 3 days later, the dude dies, just falls off a ladder.
Oh, that'd be so bad. And this is when she starts talking to the soldier a second time.
Right, because he shows up in her bedroom, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's scary.
So
like it's dark and the thunderstorms are rolling in.
And the only lighting we have is like the outside.
Right.
The exterior lighting coming into the room. And he's like,
I can tell it's a Master Flood 3000, but still. It's fine. So he shows up. He's got a hood on, right? And doesn't he like take his hood off or whatever? I think. I don't know. Anyway. Why is Wentworth Miller always bald? Like, why is his head always shaved?
I don't know.
Everything he's in is head shaved.
I don't know. Man.
Okay. All right.
I don't.
Wentworth Miller, give us a call. Let us know.
I don't.
Our lines are open.
So he's just like, I don't know.
You're the 15th caller.
What?
Huh? We got Kiss tickets on the line. 15th caller. Call now.
So
phrase that pays.
What is?
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So he's just saying, I don't know where I am. They told me that you could help.
You got to wonder who they is, right? I mean, who's they?
And we do find out later.
But not now.
In this show.
Okay.
Like, we find out it's...
But not in this episode.
No.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
we don't find out in this episode what's going on.
All right. I want to know who they is.
And she does ask who is they?
Who is they? Who be they?
Who told you?
Who told you this?
So he's like, I'm not sure. I don't know. I just know come to you.
Okay.
And she says, well, you're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be in my home.
Sure.
This is my safety, whatever. He goes, well, I'm trying to go home. My wife's pregnant. I'm just trying to get home. And
that creeped me out, like when we find out about his wife later.
Yes.
Like he's stuck in the time of when he died. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And we find out later that many years have passed.
Yeah. And we also find out what triggered his spirit to come back. He basically manifests enough energy to be able to come back. Right.
Yeah, I get that. I don't remember what the thing was that caused it, but we'll get to it.
Yes.
All right. So she says, "Get out of here, you creepy ghost."
So
he says, "I got to go home."
She asks, "Well, what's around you? What does it look like?" Because he sees her in the environment he was in. Right.
Sure.
Where she sees him in her environment.
Yeah, because she's alive.
Yeah.
I mean, that has something to do with it too, probably.
So this is where we find out it's in a valley, because he says, I'm in a low
valley. It's like
valley.
a jungle valley though, right?
Yeah. So we find out it's like some kind of forest, jungle, valley. And
he was fighting the Sandinistas or something.
He was in a war. And we find out, I think
we kind of assume that it was Vietnam.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It's safe to say
I think it was Vietnam.
I think they say Vietnam.
Yeah, I think they do too. Okay.
She asks for his name, and this is where we find out that
he says Nunya.
No, he says, Paul Adams, I'm sergeant from Fort Driscoll, whatever.
Fort Driscoll, yeah.
So that's how we find out.
One of our mightiest forts.
Is it?
I don't know.
Is it really?
I have no idea.
So she kind of finds out, like, okay, she calls Andrea again.
Yeah.
I have to be late.
Whatever. Hey, Andrea, I got to go to my house. I'm going to be late. Got to let the ghosts out.
And Andrea's like, no, it's okay. You're cool. Like, we
haven't sold an armoire in days, so you're fine.
And at this point, Melinda comes to like a screeching stop outside in basically the Times Square. And
thankfully, she was driving at the time when she came to a screeching stop.
Was she?
Times Square? You mean like the town square?
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't like drive to New York.
No, she didn't drive to New York. Oh my God. That would be so bad if she's driving in Times Square.
Yeah.
But the city square. And Andrea's like, what's going on? She's like, don't worry about it. I'll tell you later.
Don't worry about it.
She goes to the VFW to try to get some more information.
Oh, right.
And
because she's trying to dig up information on this soldier boy.
Yes. So
soldier boy, tell him.
She talks to the worker, and he's like, I'm sorry, we had an event last night. It's been a mess, blah, blah,
Big
blah.
old bingo blowout.
It was baseball.
Baseball bingo blowout, sure.
He says baseball and whatever. Paul Adams, he's from the village, ? And then she is just trying to give him as much information for him to be able to go over and look through the files.
So are they saying that he's from there?
So
that village?
No, I think from here, he's from Grandview.
Oh, that's right.
Because she realizes that there is a...
Grandview, Texas.
No.
Oh.
There's a statue in the middle of in the middle of the city square. And this is how she finds out what war.
That.
She goes over and she like looks at it, and I think this is where it says the war that he was in.
Okay.
And she finds his name.
It just says big.
No.
He was in the big war.
No. I'm pretty sure it does say Vietnam, but
okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does too.
And So she's like, I don't really know. I just need draft records, enlistment records, anything you can find that can possibly help me.
Yep. Blood type, shoe size.
No. And so the VFW, or the worker, goes back, looks at the records. At this point, she sees.
Is it weird to you that she's in the VFW looking for this stuff? Like, wouldn't you think they'd be like a veterans hospital or something where all these things would be?
I mean, if you think about it, though, it makes sense.
You ever been in a VFW?
No.
It's just like a big hall. But anyway, it's fine. Whatever. They had a big baseball bingo blowout.
Yeah, sure. Totally.
Yeah. So she's looking for all this stuff.
Yeah, she's looking at all this stuff. The worker goes back, looks for the files.
Right.
There's a female ghost that realizes that Melinda, can see her.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, oh, like, stop pretending. I'm not blind. I know you can see me. She calls her out. And then Melinda's like, okay, yeah, whatever. I can see you. Cool. I have stuff I need to get done.
Whatever,
like,
ghost.
And the ghost says, there's a small thing you have to tell Joe, who's the worker, that I left a key to the safe.
Oh, wait. This is the part that I was... Oh, this is the part with the old guy and the lady. Yes. That's what okay. I was screwing that up. I was combining that and the coffee shop.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So that she's like, I left this in my jacket pocket. Tell him.
Yeah.
And
holy crap. How long's that jacket been around? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So he's obviously kept it, and it's a good thing he did.
Yeah.
And so he comes back.
It's a big old diamond.
No.
Oh.
No. He comes back, and he says, I have nothing but a first initial, and he gives her the information. She doesn't know how to tell this guy, Joe,
that she can see this lady that has a thing in her pocket?
Yes.
Is that a ghost in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? I don't know.
What?
Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Why?
So she doesn't know how to tell the dude.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to tell the dude, and she says, okay, whatever. Well, I have a message from your wife in the safe deposit box, or the key to the safe deposit box is in the jacket.
Pocket of her jacket.
And all the important stuff is there that you need to have. And so at this point, Melinda is like, sorry to bother you. Got to go. Bye. And kind of like leaves.
See ya. Check the jacket.
And Melinda's then driving down the street.
Yeah.
That we find out, and she's
down the sidewalk.
No, down the street. To what we find out is Michael Adams.
Yeah.
Who is the son?
Oh, that's right. She goes to his house.
Yes, she goes to his house.
Of the son.
And this is the son.
And now we realize, holy crap, it's been a long time.
Yes.
Because, I guess they told us it was Vietnam.
Yes.
And we know if we're watching this in real time, it was 2005. So we know it's been a while.
Yeah, just a few years.
Been a while.
A few decades.
Yeah.
But she asked her, are you Michael Adams, Paul Adams' son?
Who wants to know?
And then, he's like, well, who wants to know?
He's real, like, standoffish, yeah.
Yes. And
my dad left me in a thing.
And she says, oh, well, so-and-so.
Yeah.
I'm so-and-so. I just wanted to know, like, more about your dad.
Sure.
And he says, yeah, why? And she's like, well, he served in Vietnam. And he's like, well, how'd you know that? And so she was like, well, I'm trying to collect some local information on Vietnam vets, and I found your father's name. And he was like, well, I don't know much other than what my mom's told me.
Right.
She's tried to keep his legacy going through and to make it feel like I have a dad. And so she's like, well, I'm sorry, but is there anything you can tell me about him? And he says, not really, just 5th Infantry, Red Diamond, has a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart.
It's like a lot of information, honestly. Yeah.
And he was an expert marksman. He was funny, reliable. At least that's what my mom said. And so Melinda was like, oh, well, that's kind of a lot. And so they're just talking about all that and about the dad. Melinda's like, cool. If I find out any new information, I would love to tell you.
Yeah.
And so that's where kind of like that ends, is as far as the
commercial.
Yeah.
And we will take a commercial break right here. And we'll be back for the rest of Ghost Whisperer Part 1. All right. So we're back. We have met the soldier boy's father. I mean, brother,
son.
Mother, son. And he was like pissed off.
No, he was.
I mean, he's just real standoffish because he
very
thinks his father just kind of left him.
Yeah.
Is basically what it boils down to.
Yeah. He felt, not that it was really the dad's choice. But
Yeah. Well, he didn't know that, though.
Yeah.
The kid thought it was the dad's choice.
And so at this point, they're back at, I'm assuming, the antique shop. I don't quite remember what setting they're in, but Andrea's like, oh, you must have been dying to tell him that his dad is there, that he's still, like, alive in a sense, or have the ability to communicate with him.
Yeah.
And so Melinda's like, well, what are we going to do? How am I going to tell him? Like, are you kidding me? He's never going to believe me. You got to be careful telling people that kind of stuff because they have a tendency of freaking out or making her look like the bad guy.
Yeah. Totally understood.
So she's trying to, like, prevent that.
Right.
And Andrea's like, whoa, do you think he's single? Haha, funny. Because she is single and has been single for a while.
She's always looking for a person.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where we find out where the triggering happens as far as his spirit coming back.
Oh.
Because she says, no, but the thing is, his wife is like 9 months pregnant. It made me realize something. Paul told me that his wife was pregnant. But what he doesn't realize...
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Okay, so the kid's wife is 9 months pregnant.
Yes.
And
the dad...
he died whenever his wife was 9 months pregnant with this kid.
Yes.
Okay.
And so his...
Now I remember that.
Yeah, so he died when his wife was pregnant.
Yes,
and
I remember that.
What triggered it is that his son's wife is
100%,
pregnant.
I got it. Yep.
And... Oh, yeah. Do you got it?
I got it now.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Do you want me to continue explaining
please
it?
go.
You
please
sure?
go.
Oh,
Please go.
man. I was really looking forward to it.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, please help me.
All you got to do is call us. And
just call us. This is all over. Yeah.
We're done. We're over.
It's starting to feel like a ransom. But go ahead.
Is that what this is?
I don't know.
Okay. So Melinda was like, okay, whenever there's a big chance in a family, like a child about to be born, it sends a ripple effect through the spirit world, which wakes up a spirit of someone close, and that's why Paul is here. And Andrea's like trying to convince her that she has to tell him. She's like, I don't know.
Right.
And she's walking down outside, so I'm assuming down the sidewalk, and she hears like wind howling, and then she hears someone say Melinda, and then she hears knocking.
Yeah,
and
she's walking around down the street again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she just said, "Who told you I could help you?" And then she just hears a man.
Did you hear that?
I hate you,
Melinda.
No.
That's what happens.
I mean, yes.
Okay.
But so then she wakes up from another bad dream.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
And
this lady cannot catch a break. Like, she can't sleep.
No, not
you know?
Constantly
like,
being woken
That's what
up.
I'm saying. It's just constant with the ghosts.
And
I'm like that, but with dogs. 14 dogs, man. That'll do it to you.
So she wakes up middle of the night. Jim, again, trying to help her.
Mm-hmm.
She goes downstairs and talks to Paul. And she tells him what happened of you died in a low valley of some kind.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think it was actually called Low Valley.
Yeah,
so
because
it's
at this point,
words.
yeah, at this point, she has kind of figured out where this dude was, kind of what happened to him.
Yes.
Because she's piecing it together, you know, from the VFW stuff, from the son, from all the
from
things.
what she's found on the internet. And so she was like, well, what else do you remember? He just says bits and pieces. I see kind of like visions, trying to get through that.
Right.
And he says, I can't be with my wife. And she's like, well, you're mistaken. You're a wife for your son's wife because of all that. And that's when she tells him.
Ghosts are dumb.
I mean, if you died in a traumatic.
I get it. Like everything's real fuzzy to them, right? Yeah. And like you were saying, they see stuff in their own time and setting.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, okay.
Like when they died. So he doesn't remember much other than.
So it doesn't help that they're so dumb. I mean, they got all that other stuff going on.
And so she's trying to lay it out to him. Yeah. Tell him what's going on.
Right.
And she's asking, well, why haven't you crossed over? What can I help you with? And
he's like, oh.
He's just like, well, I don't know what you're talking about crossing over. And she's like, the light, blah, blah, blah. And
let's go see the light. Come on, go.
Go see the light. Come on,
like a moth. Go to the light.
And she then jumps to her being back at the son's house. Yeah. And her telling the son.
This is when she actually kind of wins the son over. You know, because she tells him. Is this when he shows up?
No.
Oh, this is before.
This is
the second time that she goes to the house. The guy, and he's like, "Get out of here, you ghost whisperer."
So she's trying to tell the son that his dad's still here. He doesn't believe her, throws her out, calls her a fraud, trying whatever. So they both end up very upset.
Sure.
By the end of it, and she goes to Jim, telling Jim about what happened.
I thought you said she goes to the gym. And I was like, I don't remember that scene.
She goes to Jim about what happened. And she's like, I just want some wine. Mm-hmm. That was rough. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, whatever.
He pours her 3 bottles in a giant glass. She jumps in. She gets real drunk. There's ghosts everywhere.
So dumb.
She's running into walls.
No.
Okay.
So I don't even know where I am at this point.
Well, she wants the wine because she's had a rough day. She got thrown out of Billy McGee's house or whatever. Yes. Son.
So initially she goes home, is having dinner, and this is when the son shows up at her house.
Yeah. It was weird that she was eating a pastrami sandwich, huh?
No, she wasn't.
Oh.
Not at all.
Do you remember what was for supper? What they had?
No.
How can you say it wasn't pastrami then? It might have been.
Because
they might have had a lovely pastrami sandwich.
You know what? Sure.
You like pastrami?
No, I don't like pastrami.
Okay.
Pastrami's gross.
I think there's a large swath of people that would disagree with you. But okay. All right.
That's okay, man.
Okay, so she has her dinner, which is not pastrami, evidently. And then what happens?
The sun shows up.
Sun shows up. Oh, that's right. So this happens on her porch.
Yes.
The thing that I'm thinking about.
Yes. This happens
He shows up and he goes, holy crap, I think you're right.
Yes.
Because you told me stuff that only he would know.
Yes. And then he ended up calling VFW.
Right.
Finds out that everything that she had said was true.
Yeah.
And this is where he believes her.
Right.
And it's like, well, I want to talk to him.
And he shows up.
And he does show
he
up.
Goes, poof. And he's right there.
Magically just
I'm a ghost.
Magically shows up. And
he's a ghost. I have to whisper around him. He's a ghost. Right, but he like shows up next to her and he wants to say something to him so that he knows he's there.
Yeah.
And he says
initially something only his mom would know.
Yeah.
And that's how he knew that it was really his dad.
Have your champagne on Friday nights by the fire. It's weird how they brought those two things together.
No. But initially, the soldier felt like he had just missed out on his son's life.
Yeah.
And seeing him now as an adult, he felt proud and happy of how the son turned out.
Yeah. Sure.
And so that's really just what he wanted.
He was like all choked up.
Yeah, that's what.
Ghosts can't cry though. Did you know that? They can't.
Why can't they cry?
Because there's nothing in there. There's no saline. There's no water. There's no nothing.
How do you know?
Because they're ghosts. They're empty. A ghost is empty.
Are you a ghost?
I might be. You ever seen me cry?
Just a few times.
Oh, that's true. Like every day. No, but I would think ghosts can't cry, right?
But I mean,
it's like stars shoot out of their eyes whenever they cry or whatever. Just.
But I mean, if it's something that you remember being able to do, like it's an emotion, so why would you not be able to
ghostly
do it?
tears?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
maybe their insides are just different than ours. So.
Oh, their insides are different. All right. They're ghosts. They don't have anything in there. Yeah, they're all hollowed out. That's what happens when you're a ghost.
Oh my God.
All right. So he says something to him. He says, I'm really proud of you, kid. You know,
yeah,
and then
basically just says, good job.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you. And take care of that kid. Love on him.
Sure.
And
squeeze that kid real hard.
And just says, be sure you love him the way you wish you would have had me. And it's just like that fatherly advice.
Right.
Goes on, tells him.
This is a tearjerker moment right here.
Yes.
It's funny because the ghost can't cry.
Oh. And then we jump to the cemetery where they're giving Paul Adams, the soldier, a proper burial.
Yeah, they give him like a 21 gun salute kind of thing. Yeah, whole deal.
Yeah, the whole like
and
military.
So he's all wrapped up. He can cross over. Mm-hmm. He does. They give him the funeral and everything.
Yes.
And then this next part sucks. I mean, for her. Because like they have the funeral, everything's over. She's walking away and she sees all these people around this grave.
Yes.
And they look up and go, help us.
Yeah.
And she's like, crap.
Yeah.
And that's how it ends, right?
Yes.
This poor lady.
She never catches a break.
She doesn't. She can't catch a break. That's it. Ghost Whisperers can't catch a break.
Can't catch one.
Well, here's the thing, okay? It was a good show. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was good. It was good. I just never watched it before. Jennifer Love Hewitt was good in it. Wentworth Miller was good in it.
Did you see a ghost down there?
There was a ghost down there. A little ghost. Little baby ghost. It's funny. He's a little baby ghost and he can't even cry. So... how many did you say? 176 or something?
117.
Oof. So we got 116 to go. Okay.
117 episodes spanning over 5 seasons.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess one down. 116 to go.
Yep.
Okay. I'm in this for the long haul.
Are you?
Yeah. You know who else needs to be in this for the long haul? Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jennifer Love Hewitt, please be on our show. Please.
Please.
Come on, please. Just do it. Just do it.
One phone call.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a phone number, and we're going to provide that number on our social media and say, Jennifer Love Hewitt, please be on our show. And all you got to do is call. Quick little interview, won't take 5 minutes of your star-studded time. Just call us. We'll talk about Ghost Whisperer. We'll talk about pumpkins, whatever you want to talk. Well, like I said, I saw her pumpkins on the Instagrams.
You did.
No. I didn't mean it that way. She put pumpkins in her front yard, like for fall. I didn't mean it that way. I wasn't trying to be ugly. But Jennifer Love Hewitt, please be on our show. Just call us. Well, just call us.
You call us at
1-800-GHOST Whisperer.
1-800.
No, we don't have a number yet, but we will.
1-800 that ghost number.
100 boo. It's like 7 O's.
So it's 1-800-800-0000.
But it's like trying to spell boobs on a calculator, but it's boo. It never ends. No, for real. This show is dedicated to Jennifer Love Hewitt being on this show. We just want to talk to you for a minute. It won't take long.
Just one?
Well, I mean, maybe 2, but still. We would just love to talk to you. We're fans. We're doing this thing. We're dedicated to doing this show until you call. And that's not it sounds so threatening when I say it that way, but that's not how I mean it. I just mean I would love for you to be on this show. I think it would be cool. Yeah.
Please call us. We'd love to have a lovely interview.
Yeah, man. Just super easy. We'll talk about pumpkins. It's great. It's wonderful. Well, Alison, I enjoyed this. This was fun. I got to get out of town. So, if you guys could do us a favor and retweet us and repost us and like our stuff that we put out there and send this directly to Jennifer Love Hewitt via her post office box, I'm assuming. Or whatever. I mean, just get the word out for us, please. Right?
Yep. That
would be wonderful. All right, you can check us out at roguemedianetwork.com or at Please Be on our show on Instagram. I think
on Twitter.
On Twitter, that's true. I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
So
or
now,
wherever you get your podcast.
Wherever you get your podcast. Or and then next week, episode 2.
Yay.
All right, I'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.